Hi, I'm Jennifer Janisch, owner of Adored Salon and Adored Signature Hand-Tied Hair Extensions. I'm obsessed with curly hair. I cut it, style it, and extend it, and this podcast is all about my curly girl obsessions that stretch far beyond just curly hair. Hey guys, it's me, Jennifer, from the Curly Girls Obsessions. It's a unique episode today as I'm in my bathroom styling my hair through this podcast because there's no other time. I felt like time has just slipped away from me so much already this year, and we're only, 15 days in? So I'm doing this today while I'm doing my hair. So if you're listening on Apple Podcast, you might want to switch over to YouTube in video form or Spotify. If you're on the audio version only of Spotify, turn your phone horizontally. You'll see me in video. My head's cut off because there's just not enough room. I mean, the top of my head. But anyways, I want to address um it's like the New Year's slump, New Year's resolution slump. They say like by the second Friday of the new year, most people are depressed and in a slump because they haven't followed through with their New Year's resolutions. This I feel like is a very real thing. Like I'm said to my husband today, I'm like, I need to find my flow. I need to find my motion. I need to get like motivated. And I know you guys know, like, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm addicted to the adrenaline rush. Good or bad, it just is the way it is. I like to be doing new things, fun things, or I like to have something to look forward to. And it's usually either travel or some form of like event that I created through the salon or the extension line. Yes, we do have the curl tour coming up, but um I too am feeling it. Like if in Chicago it's freezing cold right now, like I know that it's like negative something. It's been snowing, it's been dreary. Today you could see behind me the sun is out, thankfully. And it's going to help. But I think I know, I don't have to say the word think. I know that a big part of this problem is um, starting last year in May, my heel was giving me a ton of trouble. And they said that I had plantar fasciitis, that this tendon was inflamed in my heel and it was causing these problems. So I did all the things that they told me to do. I did stretching exercises. I iced. I wore this crazy boot to bed. I wore orthotics. And I kept going back to the doctor. And sometimes it would feel better, sometimes it wouldn't. They also gave me this CBD cream that worked until I was allergic to it and looked like I had a staph infection. um, and so I had to stop that. I couldn't take the anti-inflammatories that they gave me because, like many, it messed up my stomach to no end. And it was starting to become problematic because, well, it was problematic because when I stood, it hurt. And when I sat and got off of my feet, I got shooting pains in the sides of my heel for whatever reason, overuse. I don't know. Like, just it is what it is, right? So I started associating work with pain. If you're wondering what I'm about to spray in my hair, it's the Curl Revive from Isles. I sprayed this throughout my hair before I started detangling it. It has soap proteins in it. It really does wonders for your hair with strength. It gives it a ton of shine. And honestly, I also feel like it's kind of got a plumper in it. So I just spray it on myself. Anyway, so I started associating work with pain, and I couldn't even walk my dogs because it hurt so bad. And on Thanksgiving, I actually hit my breaking point, and I'm about to put this whipped curls throughout all of my hair. I put it in like a clump on my counter so that I can put it in sections as I work my way up. So you'll see me put that underneath my favorite gel, the Weedot Advanced Climate Control Stronghold. I just take a swoop. And so I started to associate work with pain, and it was really hard to get my energy up to go to work. I would stand there to do hair for like probably 30 minutes in, and my foot would be throbbing. It really hurt on the days that I did extensions because I would stand pretty much in one spot for the majority of doing hair extensions. And that's when it would really flare up on me. And so I host Thanksgiving at my house, and I'm getting ready, and all morning I'm kind of like, gosh, go get go get ready, not just the kitchen, and put on your shoes because this is going to be problematic throughout the day. Like it's hurting and you've got a long night ahead of you. Finally, I go get dressed. I put on my shoes, tie them up. My foot was so swollen, I could feel it already. And it was at this point, I think it was noon, right? I think I was up like at 6 a.m. that day. So it's noon, and company's not even coming until 2 p.m. And the way my foot felt in my mind was like, when you see older people and they have on like those crazy gym shoes that don't even look like gym shoes, they're like just either black or brown usually, and their foot is so swollen and it's hanging over it and out. That's what I felt like my foot looked like. It didn't, but that's what it felt like. And I just was hitting on everything that day and having 25 people come to my house. So, needless to say, I went through the day and immediately the next day called the podiatrist, made an appointment, went in, and I was like, I'm done. I can't take this anymore. I can't work out. I feel like I'm gaining weight like crazy. I can't even go to work without being sad and upset because I cannot work with this issue. So they said, and what I wanted at that point was a cortisone shot. I wanted something to just take away all the pain I was in magically. And they were like, okay, well, if we're going to do a cortisone shot, we have to make sure that your plantar fasciitis is not torn. And I'm thinking to myself at this very moment, this is actually a thing. Like torn? How come we did not discuss this before? Like, my job is like running a marathon every day. And I could have been walking around with this torn tendon and not even know it, and do all these freaking stretching exercises that I'm sure were not to my benefit. So I set up the MRI. At this point, I'll do anything. I don't care this far in the process with them. Like, let's just get this freaking thing moving along. I have to come back the following week. I do the MRI in the office. So I was like, gosh, this machine's just been sitting here all this time waiting for me. And I get the MRI done. I go back 2 days later to have the results read. And sure enough, this tendon was torn. So all this time, I had been walking around on this torn tendon, hating on life, hating on my job, hating on my clients pretty much because they were the reason I was at work. I know that sounds like a bit dramatic, but when you're in that much pain and you stand for a living, like you, yeah, it's just the way it is. So then they put me in this boot for 4 weeks. And as crazy as it sounds, I know, everybody who's ever broken a foot or had something wrong with their foot, they hate on these boots. And this boot was big and bulky. But here's the craziest part. Within 3 hours of having that boot on my foot felt better. So go freaking figure. All this time that I had been wasting running around, like doing all this shit that wasn't helping me. This big bulky boot is on my foot for 3 hours and I feel like a different person. Okay, awesome. Now it's going to heal. But obviously, when you're wearing a big bulky boot like that, you're not going to be running around working out. My best friend at the same time fell taking out her garbage, broke her ankle, and she is like a workoutaholic. And she was like doing chair exercises, putting me to shame. And I was just hating on everything because work was so busy at this time because we're in the thick of the holidays. And I'm wearing this big boot. I'm just freaking tired by the end of the day. That's a hairdresser's life in December. Like you work so hard during the day to get your clients done, then you come home, collapse, and eat all your calories for the day in a 20-minute window, and then you pass out. It's just no matter how many times I like rearranged my schedule, thought I'd set boundaries, created the perfect schedule for the holidays. That's just how it goes as a hairstylist. So I wasn't working out then. And fast forward, go through the holidays, work, everything, go on vacation, take a relaxing trip with my kids and my husband to Galena after the holidays. It was great. And honestly, this was probably one of the first vacations that I did not work every day on something related to the salon or the extension line or the education. I will say I worked probably 4 hours of this trip. I did stuff, but that's an improvement for me. And then we came home on New Year's Eve. And I have been thinking about all the things that I was going to do regardless in 2025. And my husband and he today is 50. I will turn 50 August 11th. So I got myself 8 months to get there and get into the shape that I want to be in. But both of us, like, health becomes really important the older you get because obviously you start seeing things that start changing, like my foot, for the fact that I need readers now when I read a menu, or I got to hold it like 3 feet away from me, like all these little reminders that you're getting older. But again, age is just a number. And so New Year's Eve, thinking about all these things and um just like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And my husband, he got this app for us, and we just need to do it. It's like meditation and workouts, mind being, but and it seems really good, right? But again, the key thing is, in order for it to work, you've got to do it. I saw this post on social media a couple weeks ago, and it hit home so hard for me. It was um it was to the extent of this, like, if you wake up every day and you do all the same things that you did in 2024, 2025 will be no different, right? uh so true. Like, so true. So here I am. Now, 2 weeks into January, still doing what I did for the bulk of 2024. My foot is feeling so much better. There's no reason why I can't start working out, even if it's just walking, or even to do what my friend was doing, which was like chair exercises. I can do it, but it's changing literally like 6.5 months of a habit that's going to be really hard to break. And it's like getting up in the morning, getting my coffee. That's part of the habit that'll never break. I'm always going to get up and have my coffee. But then I sit on my couch and my cute dogs and my cat come down and they scrunch up all around me. And it's so cozy. And during this time, I tend to go through emails that need to be gotten rid of, check on business things, um, do my social media posts, all the things that really would be fine to do 30 minutes later if I took that first cup of coffee and got my ass on my treadmill. And not that I want to walk in my basement, and that's probably part of it, is I don't want to walk in the basement, but because of where I live in the Midwest, holy hell, you're not freaking walking outside. Last week, the sidewalks were coated with a sheet of ice. Like, I saw people walking their dogs, and I'm like, how in the hell are they even doing this? Because you're taking your life into your own hands, because the majority of people are not so nice as to salt and ice, de-ice their sidewalk. So you're walking on this treacherous sidewalk with ice. And after being in that boot, I'm like, okay, not taking any risks, harming myself in any other way, potentially. So I sit there and I think about all the things that I should be doing. And what does that do for me? Absolutely nothing, because then I feel bad and it actually kind of causes like a sense of shame, because I think you guys know me and you know that through the podcast that I've done, and if you follow me on social media, I'm a go-getter. I If I say I'm going to do something, I freaking do it. And I haven't done it. Like, and I know my husband wants to do this also with me. Like, what in the hell is our problems? It's just laziness, laziness. And I think if not, I think, there I go with that again. Like, not, I think, I know that if I got up, had that cup of coffee, did 20 minutes on that treadmill, came in, meditated, and started my day. And somewhere else along the way, I did weightlifting, like, because I'd only work until 4 o'clock. If I came home and it was like 5 o'clock ish, right before dinner, and I lifted like some weights for 10 to 15 minutes, I could be in some really good shape. And I'd feel really, really good. So this week, I know that, um, and I think too, we all say, I'm going to start that on Monday. I'm going to start eating better on Monday. I'm going to start working out on Monday. There's something about Monday that brings us all a good start. And while I'm recording this, it's January 15th and it's Wednesday. We have a weekend planned, my husband and I, for his birthday. So we're going to go away. We're going to eat some really good food, stay in a nice hotel, enjoy each other's company, and it'll be the weekend. Maybe, just maybe, the two of us could get on treadmills in this hotel and start this earlier than Monday. Actually, I'm going to make myself do it. And then I'm going to post that on my story on social media, because it'll kind of hold me accountable. I'm definitely going to do that because this needs to end. I need to break this cycle, this 6.5 month cycle of nothingness, and turn it into something because I need to get myself out of this slump. And do you ever feel that way? Like, do you ever feel like you know what you need to do, but you just don't have the strength to get there, to get it done? And literally, we all do. It just takes putting one foot in front of the other, stepping out of what you normally do into something new, right? Goes back to that post I said, if you do the same habits that you had in 2024, 2025 will not be any different than 2024. This Monday coming up, a lot is changing. We have the inauguration of the new president, which I am excited about. No matter where you fall on the sides of this, I am excited. um, I am excited for something new. I am excited to just see what is to come. And I'm going to actually use that as my excuse and my reason to do something good for myself. Hopefully, there's a lot of good in store for the country, and there's going to be a lot of good in store for Johnson-Janisch because I'm going to use this weekend to start the prep, to start onto my new um, goals for 2025, and just to get myself out of this rut. Monday is going to be the day that I start to sell out all my curl tour classes for 2025. It's going to be the day that 3 other salons contact me because they want me to come to them with the curl tour. Monday is going to be the day that I finish the lineup of the schedule for 2025 with the curl tour. Monday is going to be the day that I have lined up topics for my podcast to speak on every week so that you're not waiting 2 to 3 weeks for a new one to release. I'm getting organized this year. I am taking the bull by the horns, and I'm going to do some wicked shit for sure. Like 2024, pretty much, it was kind of an epic year, even with this foot issue. The fact that I had 8 curl tour classes and I just started it in 2024 is crazy. I think knowing that is also part of the reason why this slump and struggle has been really hard. Like, you come off a year like that, and then you're just like, okay, now what? I kind of know what Taylor Swift probably feels like right now after the Eras tour. Right, in my little world, my little suburbia world of being a hairstylist for 35 years and taking my shit on the road in 2024, going to 8 different places, enjoying meeting all these new people, making all these relationships, and creating a mentorship for hairstylists on how to grow their extension clientele. Um, it's a pretty hard year to top. And at the end of the year too, with the girls at the salon, I always do one-on-one meetings with them. And every month we go over their previous month totals. We project for their next month. We discuss like what they've had successes in and where they've lacked and what they want to do more successfully the following month. And it's a pretty awesome way to get follow through. But this this is so, I find, to be comical and one of my downfalls, like not living in the moment, enjoying like the fact that our salon in 2024 did better than 2023. And we did some insane numbers, like over 1,500 curly haircuts. I can't even remember what the number was for color, but it was a lot. And something like 300 some odd extension services, and because curly haircuts take an hour, extension services can take anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. So that's why those numbers are different like that. And most owners would be like, oh yeah. I'm like, holy shit, that mountain is so freaking high to climb, because now we're at 0 for 2025. And in order to beat those numbers, we have to do X, Y, and Z. And we have to do X, Y, and Z 10X to be that much better and bolder in 2025. Why couldn't I just enjoy the moment of the fact that 2024 was better than 2023, and that 2025 can only be better than 2024? I don't know. It's like a personality flaw for sure. But I love those little flaws because they push me further and further faster in the new year and just in general, right? Those are the things that keep me on my toes. So for all of you out there watching all the feeds that are hustle haters, they're wrong. Life is really about the hustle culture if you're an adrenaline junkie like me and you feed off of producing. So that is my 2 weeks into January slump that I have planned on here with you, how to get myself out of it and the reasons how I got there. Is it just the personality I have in general? I don't know, but whatever it is, it can be changed. And how it can be changed is by changing myself, doing things different in 2025 than I did in 2024 so that it can be better, so that it's not the same. And like, would I be happy with the same amount of curl tour classes in 2025? Hell yes. Hell yes, I would. Some things I would not change. Would I be happy with how hard I had to work to get there? That's the one part that I know I just said like hustle culture, right? But I've been doing a lot of things at the end of 2024 to make the whole system and curl tour class more streamlined for 2025. So I'm hoping that that hard work that I've put in 2024 helps to alleviate some of the stress and the workload in 2025 for getting things off the ground and promoting the curl tour. So yeah, that 2024, I worked my butt off. And like I said earlier, I think that has contributed to the fact of where I feel in my slump and feeling like Taylor Swift coming off the Eras tour. Because it was a big year for that tour. And not just Taylor Swift, but my curl tour. I know you're probably like, how the hell can this girl compare herself to Taylor Swift? Well, for me to visit 8 different places and teach my class to people who want to know what I have to talk about, it's pretty freaking exciting, I gotta say. You do kind of feel like a celebrity when people are asking you to come and teach them all about curly hair extensions and hair extensions, like learning how to install them and stuff. So that's my claim to fame in 2024 and 2025. I know what it's like to come off of a tour. All right. So I hope this podcast resonated with you. I hope that it gave you good things to think about. I hope that you're not like me and you're not in this 2 week into the new year slump. But in some regards, if you are that way, take the advice that I just gave as I laid out my plan on how to get myself out of it in 2025, how to use Monday as the starting point to something new and take the baby steps over the weekend to ensure that you get the results that you want come Monday, if that's going to be your starting day. So I'll see you on the next one.